Welcome to CDR, the Night of Ideas and Tracks in the Making. It's basically a night that's about new music, about celebrating the development of music and also the development of artists. We are very, 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 very happy to have Fatima with us today. Give it up, people.
Thanks for coming tonight. I appreciate you all. To everyone to the back, what's happening?
Cool. You right?
Yes, I'm sweating. I don't know why I decided to wear all these layers. But you know what? I don't think about temperatures. I just think about whatever I think looks good. And then I'm like, I'm going to survive. So if I seem a bit delirious, like, actually pick me up limb by limb and take me out of here.
There you go. We've got some water, that's it. Where's the inner bee girl and all that stuff. Okay, cool. So for the next 45 minutes or so, we'll have a conversation, but you guys are also more than welcome to ask your questions and get involved as well. Is that cool? Yeah, we are family here. That's what we do. So, how are you, madam? Are you good?
I'm chilling. I know I'm not chilling. I'm lying. I can't lie, by the way, so you'll see it on my face. I'm good. I've just been trying to juggle so many things these past few days, and I'm also like the worst at going to bed on time. Anybody that feel me? So I'm a bit sleep deprived, but that's no news. It's been going on for years.
Exactly. Well, that's what we live. Who needs sleep anyway? Do you know what I mean?
All of us.
Yeah. So apparently so. Apparently. So listen. I'm curious.
Yeah.
So at what point, in your life, did you kind of figure, hey, I've got quite a decent voice? At what point did you know that? And then at what point did you think, okay, I want to consider using my voice as a way of expressing myself in the world and get involved in the music industry?
I always used to be singing anyway. I'm from Stockholm, by the way. So shout out to me. No, I'm joking. Nah, shout out to anyone from Stockholm.
Who's from Stockholm here?
Boo. Anyway.
You are. That's what counts.
Anyway, so, yeah. What was the question? Okay, wait. You said, no, I always used to be singing anyway. Be into music. My mom always used to play music in the house. I used to go to attend the school choir, like from when I was about 7 until I was 18 or something. So I was always just singing there and stuff, I guess it was when I was in the choir or something, I was just like, I don't know, just was able to sing the harmonies and learn a lot by ear. I don't know, just around the times. I always used to sing, but then, what can I say? I think when I moved to... It's just always been something I've always been doing. I ain't really thought like one day I want to be a singer. It's just like I've always been singing and stuff, and it's just kind of like a natural, organic progression, should I say? And but when I was 21, I moved to London, and I started getting into to like the clubs and the scene and checking out the music and what was going on out here. I guess it was a little bit before. You know what, guys? It's really hard to be like. I haven't really. It's hard to tell things chronologically.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be.
But really, what it is that I was always singing, choir. Went a bit to music school for a bit in Stockholm. Used to write some of my own songs, create with friends and stuff. And I had a little demo that I brought with me on a CDR. When I moved here to London, and then just like what I'm saying, like I always thought, I would like to be able to work with the music, but
sure thing.
I don't know.
But it's interesting because it's like from what I remember, Stockholm, Sweden had a really kind of vibrant soul scene and kind of quite a good scene. So what beckoned you to London? Why leave Stockholm for London?
I don't know if you had such a great scene. I mean, when I lived there, depends really what you're thinking. What are you thinking about?
I know what I'm thinking.
Huh?
There's always been a kind of, there's definitely been a
I'm
vibe.
not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to... I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying, like, I'm just wondering. I mean, you said it was great.
No, there's always been a tradition. There's always been a tradition there.
No,
For,
no,
you know,
but
for,
you
yeah,
know what?
do you know what I mean?
Yes, there's been appreciation for
Yeah.
soul music and stuff. But when I was like 20 something, you know, Stockholm, where I'm from, is such a small city, especially compared to London. It's just a little village. But it is the capital of Sweden, and there's always been a lot of music, jazz and so throughout. Yeah, you're right, but I can't really say that I was immersed in this amazing scene, and that's why, because if so, maybe I would have stayed there for longer. But I in fact thought that I felt a bit like so small, everyone knows everyone, and it's just, there was like one other girl at the time, and she was a rapper. She is a rapper. Her name is Mape, and she's sick, but she, like, her music, yeah, and my music sounded totally different. And yet there were people that came up to me like, "Are you Mape?" And I'm like, no. The only thing we got in common is that we're fudge color. So I'm like, I want to go somewhere where this is not a thing like, I don't know. I just want to. That wasn't the main thing. I just felt like it was it's very small. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to go somewhere else. And London, and when you live here, it feels smaller than maybe what it is when you first come here.
And was London your first choice? Did you consider maybe Amsterdam or New York or Detroit or somewhere? Was
Yeah, I actually always was dreaming about living in New York, but I guess I was just a bit lazy sorting out the paperwork. So I became a Londoner.
You took the shorter flight. Yeah.
That wasn't the only reason. I actually went out here with my friend when we was like 17 or something, or 18. Well, every year when Wiley came out with Treading on Thin Ice. Do you say treading or no? Not
treading. Treading's good. No, treading's good. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, Treading on Thin Ice, because that was kind of like that, and me. I heard about like Rinse and stuff like that, and I was trying to get connected through like my old not laptop, the computer in my mom's house at the time. Like it was so long trying to get connection there, listen at home.
It's quite slow in those days, wasn't it?
Yes, very slow. When I came to London, I was introduced to all these sounds and stuff. So I thought it was so sick, and I just wanted to stay here and explore more of the city.
So how did you explore the city? I mean, did you know people here? Because my recollection of you is I remember seeing you at the Jazz Cafe way back at something that IG was doing, and just that time, which was kind of around 2009, 10 kind of time. Before that, it was I just remember you were, not like an around the way girl, but you were kind of like, okay, that's Fatima. She kind of, she's got a great voice and you've got great energy about you. I guess that was just you. Just that's right. It's truth. And I just remember, and it was really interesting because I just remember, there was definitely some, there was an energy there for one, but there's also a kind of like, you had definitely your own voice and your own kind of vibe to you, which I thought was really interesting. So how did you kind of get yourself in the scene? I mean, you're not from London, you don't know anybody. How does someone, essentially who doesn't know anyone but very passionate about music, very passionate about finding your identity as an artist, how do you get to know people? How do you immerse yourself? How did you do that?
I used to go out, and I had about like one or two friends here, one from back home, and then another one. But anyway, and they, of course, it wasn't always a guarantee that I had someone to go out with. So I went out a lot by myself. You gotta do what you gotta do. And plus, I still like going out by myself because I'm free. No one can tell me nothing. But then again, there's no one to talk to, and I don't know.
It has its merits.
My shadow, my reflection. Exactly. Go to the bathroom, talk to yourself. Anyway, so I was going out by myself a lot, just like listening to different DJs, going to open mics. There was quite a few open mics around the time, actually. I mean, there still is, I guess. But and then when I was out there, I got in contact with people just that was like-minded. And we started talking. Not always. Sometimes it was lonely nights. But sometimes it was just like actually sparked up conversation with somebody, and just things kind of like developed organically like that. And I must say that your night was amazing for that, because maybe this was not exactly at the beginning, right as when I came to London, but just a couple of years in or whatever it was, whenever you used to do your night at Plastic People, that it was so good because like-minded people could just come there and it was just no pressure. You guys always stress the fact that it's not really about the finished product, it's more about the process and just trying to having a conversation with people or just hearing your music on like a really dope sound system, because not everybody can afford to invest in that and have that in your house. So that's it was really good. It was really valuable time for me and many other people. I know that, and it's amazing though he's still got this concept going, because there's always going to be people that's interested in communicating about music and just listen to music, just music lovers. And so I thought that was really good.
Okay, we're going to listen to something.
Oh my God. Thanks, guys. I haven't actually heard that song in like 15 years. I swear. I don't know. Is Beatnik in it? No. But I swear to God, I haven't heard that song. I was like, huh? Green is the color of...
I had to draw it, man. That context and lineage.
Big up yourself,
context
man.
and lineage.
Big up.
So tell me about what you've just heard. How did it come together? What is it about? Who's Beatnik? What's going on?
I used to see him around Plastic People Days. For those who don't know, Plastic People used to be, it's a legendary club that used to be here in London on Curtain Road. My favorite club in my lifetime. But anyway, rest in peace. I saw him around that time. And then I guess he just said they had made some beats and stuff and just like invited me. The only thing I really can remember, and I don't know if I recorded a song on that day. I guess I did, but he was living up here in Hackney, in Stoke or something. And I remember that he said, it was cold. I think it was wintertime. He said, do you want a cup of tea? And I was like, yes, please. And then he came back with a cup of tea that he just drank for himself. And in hindsight, I realized, I think he was high. He was smoking, eh? That's all I can remember. I wasn't even smoking.
Well, we can ask him, can't we? So,
Sorry,
I mean,
Nick. He's a lovely guy, okay? You know, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, so... So that was called Green is the Colour of Hope, produced by Mr. Beatnik, and that was brought out on a CDR. We used to have a company called Burn Progress. That was the whole thing. So that was one of the first records we came out, compilation. You can get it on Amazon and stuff. Yeah, it's very cheap on Amazon. Yeah, Green is the Colour of Hope. Yeah, it's a banger. It's good. It's a good record. It's a good record.
I wonder what we thought of when we named it that.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
go.
right.
Hey.
That's right.
Hey. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know, for me, what's really good. I mean, you know, for one, what's interesting, you know, in the history of CDR, you know, between say, 2008, 2012, that was a really interesting time, both in London, in Plastic People. The fact that a Plastic, you know, you had Forward on a Thursday, CD on a Thursday, you had Balance on a Saturday, you had Co-op on a Sunday. It was a really interesting time. But it was also a really interesting time because there was a few of you who really kind of developed, you know, artistically around the same kind of time. Beatnik being one, Sam being the other, you know, Steve, all of you, kind of, you know, a bunch of other people as well. And, you know, it was really good listening to this record again, and some of your tracks from that we'll listen to here. It's almost like it was the beginning of something really interesting. You know, both in terms of London music that had like definite identity in London, you know, and this kind of, you know, fusion of, you know, hip hop aesthetic, but with a bit of a kind of Detroit twist to it, which we'll look at in a second. But obviously hints of jazz, you know, but it's very much rooted in London, very much rooted in what, you know, it was definitely a kind of Plastic People aesthetic. And that, for me, this record really kind of typifies that. But also really typifies where I think you were vocally at that time. And we'll play another track around the same time that kind of looks at where you're at. Because for me, it feels that even though this is a feature, and it's obviously not your set you're featured, but there's definitely elements of your freestyling, something that's very consistent throughout all the music that you create. You have definitely a very distinctive approach to songwriting, a very distinctive approach to freestyling, and a very distinctive approach to harmonies. So we'll move on. We'll play another track around a similar time. Again, just to tell us what comes to mind when you hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now or after?
I'm gonna play it now, and then you can tell us. Okay. Or you can.
Is this because you waited a few seconds? So I thought, well, what song?
Yeah. Or you can respond to it.
No. Let's do it. Let's play this tune. Let's play this tune.
Yeah. But would you agree with what I've said? What I've just said? In terms of a kind of a really interesting time around that time.
It was definitely
you were all developing.
It's definitely a lot of things happening, and being the fact that I just moved for the first time out of my hometown to a big city. The big city that is London, just like got introduced to so many new sounds I ain't really heard before, met new people. It's just like, yeah, it was, I guess it was definitely a time that definitely influenced me and meant a lot to me and many others. It's like you'll never, it was really like a golden, in a way, era of, I don't know, in London, within my London stay, you know what I'm saying? Like that was really a dope time. But, and I mean, even visiting like Plastic that had all these legendary DJs as well that really showed like and selectors and stuff, just like how it's done. Just amazing music. Beginning of like dubstep and stuff like that. Like I ain't really heard stuff like that before. But like that was like really such a crazy night going down there to Forward. I don't know if any one of you was down there, but like I rarely went to clubs where you just felt like the bass like in your gut, like damn. No, but for real, it's like it was really a different type of musical experience than what I had experienced before. So I thought that was amazing. I don't know if I'm answering exactly your question, but yeah, it was a good time.
Of course,
a lot of people developing and stuff.
So on top of what was happening at Forward,
Yes.
which is kind of dubstep and that kind of those kind of syncopated beats. You obviously had what was going on with Plastic, with Co-op, but also you had the whole kind of the whole kind of wonky sound, and the sound that was very much inspired by Detroit, people like Platinum Pied Pipers and Sarah and all that kind of neo-soulish, slightly more, which was also in the mix as well. So that segues into what we're going to hear now.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful art. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band.
That'll do for a bun like me. Let's fly a spray, spend purple days free.
If the girls make me feel this way, vision, eyes like the aerosol spray. Luster, luster, so what you love. So glow. You give me that so glow.
So we just held So Glow.
Yes.
So with your good man, Funkin' Even.
Yes.
So tell us about how that track came together, but more importantly, how in terms of developing, when you do get a backing track, how do you develop your song? How do you develop melody? What's your approach to songwriting? What's your approach to building harmonies? What's your
First of all, shout out Funkin' Even.
Hey!
My big bro from the past. He is amazing. He does his own club night here too, so check that out with his apron thing. It's dope. He's got such good taste, and he's so versatile. Like at the time, we met through a guy called Santi at Deviation, Benji B's night. So this was also like years back, because this song was actually on my first EP on Eglo Records, which was in 2010. So yeah, that was a while back, and we met at the club night and we decided to like link up. I went to his, to his house, his home studio, and he just played me like different beats and stuff. Some things he just also making on the spot, but just I can't really remember if he had this beat from before and then added things to it, or the exact day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but. Either way, it was around the time when I was working in a trainer shop and just kind of like slanging kicks. And then at night, I was so tired, but then I went there, met up with Steve, and just kind of like, he just played me all this like really like funky stuff, like, and I just loved it. And we just have so much fun, just like play around with just like, cause even like in the song I just sing like Jerry Curl, and this is like, I don't know, we just used to do like funny shit, like just like we used to joke around so much, and then we took the jokes and just like or we used to watch a funny film and then they were talking about something and just put that in, I don't know, it wasn't a lot of pressure, it was just fun, and we just had really good chemistry, so I used to love working with him for those reasons. Yeah. And then what do you say, and all harmonies, my whole life I've been creating a lot of harmonies, and I think a big reason is because I really grew up singing in the choirs, and I mean we in those days we used to sing a lot of like traditional Swedish music, just like choral stuff, like some religious things. Although I wasn't brought up in a religious household, it was like a lot of staple songs that we used to sing like at Christmas time, at the Christmas concert, this and that and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there was specific arrangements going on in that type of music, and then I guess that influenced me a lot. And then also just like growing up listening to like D'Angelo, for example, and like people like that, just like with harmonies out of this world, like Brandy, just like one of the craziest to have ever arranged harmonies on this planet. So all of those people influenced me, and it's just a second nature to me. It's just kind of like, I love arranging harmonies. It's fun. I usually just like come up with a little melody and then just like freestyle harmonies, or just, yeah, that's really how it goes, just free, just like that. Yeah.
And in terms of, obviously this track is a groove, right? Do you know what I mean? We'll get into, a lot more complex arrangements shortly, but I guess, do you kind of layer stuff as you go? When you lay down, say, the first track, yeah. Are you thinking harmony straight away, or, or do you just literally hit record and just find your way as you go along? Is there a plan to it, or is it about improvisation and just seeing what works?
First, most of the time when it comes to melodies come quicker to me than words. Really, you know what they say? Words don't come easy to me. No, joking. Anyway, so yeah, I just think of improvised melodies, and then after that, mostly harmonies will come kind of quickly in my head, like just pop up, and then. But if they don't, then I'll just sit there and think and just listen over and over on a loop. Well, I just did like the melody and just trying to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, as I go along, I don't really sit and arrange like, I don't write music like that. I always learn by ear and just, yeah, that's like that.
Cool. So from this record, you obviously recorded a couple more. Then how did the Eglo thing, how did that come together?
Eglo was because I met Alexander Nutt around. I used to see him around different club nights, and especially down at Plastic People. And he used to. He just started doing a radio show on Rinse FM at the time. This was around like MySpace time and all of that stuff. So anyway, he had a CD that he had made called We Love Radio, and he gave one to me. And I took it back home and listened to it. And I thought, oh, this was really dope, because he's always had like a really good ear for music and just like digging, and just, he introduced me to a whole lot of music I'd never heard of before. So he gave me a CD, and then he had heard me sing as well at a party around like those times. So he invited me. I think he invited me via MySpace, I think. And just went to his radio show, and I had my little demo that I mentioned before from back home in Stockholm, and I just played some songs, and yeah, we became friends through that. Because actually at the time I was about to be homeless, because I was looking for a room. So whoever I met, I was like, by the way, do you know anybody that has got a room for me? And then he was like, actually, I got a room going in my house. And I was like, really? Well, and then I moved in with him and his flatmates. And then we became friends like that way. And then, and then him and Floating Points, when they decided to start a label, well, first it was to put out Floating Points' music. But then as time went by and stuff, like, and he heard I was creating some music, and he was like, do you want to put it out with us? And you know, I don't really, you know, I remember this exactly, but he's got quite a good memory. He's like an encyclopedia. So basically, he was like, this is what he would say. He would be like, you said that you wanted to put out with Stone's Throw, but yeah, you think about it or something like that. And I was like, oh shit. But the truth is, I was a really big Stone's Throw fan because like Madlib and shit like that, Peanut Butter Wolf. And so no hate to Alex, yeah, but no, but you know what it is. So at the time, I don't know. I just didn't know where I would put out my music. I never put out any music really. So except from some little feature, like things like that. But so it just made sense anyway. And I really respect him and just his vision. And yeah, it was just putting music out with friends. And it's like independent. And then that was the beginning of like a 10-year working relationship. And so we've been through a lot. Yeah.
A lot. And we'll continue. Okay. We're going to move on to the next EP. Play a track from that.
What's the use of running when no one's waiting at the finish line? It makes you wonder, not trying. Darker forces feeding the inside, while inner voices keep screaming, yeah, yeah, struggling to be heard. Try to set that thought free, yeah, yeah. Rewrite the scene you're in, yeah. 'Cause when the mind's there, yeah, can't beat the preconception. So you need to clear that head out. But you'll find there, yeah, when you see it in your reflection, yeah, you can do what you feel now.
Just checking a little file here. I hope you don't mind. Don't look at my laptop. It's dirty as hell.
That's fine. You check your emails.
Dusty.
No, it's cool.
Dusty
I know.
screens.
We're looking forward to seeing what comes through. So yeah, so tell us about the follow-up EP. What changed. Musically, it was a slight departure from your first EP. Similar aesthetic, but slightly different. Tell us why, what happened, why the change, and why work with more people, different people,
Sorry, why work?
with more people, different producers.
Why not?
Of course.
Exactly. No, but it's just it was just also one of those kind of like organic things that happen when he approached me to do some music, or if it was Alex who said that we should do some stuff together. Because actually, I think it was Alex who may have Alexander Nutt again that had heard his music down at Plastic as well, probably all night.
It was at CDR, yes.
See, so, if it wasn't for you, who would have known about Eglo Records?
Hey.
So thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
He was down there, and, he got introduced to his music, and I thought, I've always been quite open to meeting people and just trying to see, if I hear their music, I'd like to first listen to the music first, figure out if it's something I can connect with, and then meeting up, going to his house, hearing stuff that he had made, or since he's a keys player as well, and a pretty good one as well, just like create something on the spot. And we just kind of connected that way, and he always used to have really good bread, loaf of bread that he offered me. It's true. I remember things like this, you know,
So
like
you get food.
you didn't give me tea,
So-
you gave me a loaf of bread.
Exactly, yeah.
My mind works in mysterious ways. But anyway, so yeah, we linked up through Alex and Plastic People.
Sure.
Yeah.
And do you have a preference for an approach to writing? You know, do you like, you know, the kind of backing track thing where you kind of, you know, obviously you have to have the connection to the music, or do you prefer, you know, a kind of one-on-one piano, live instrumentation first and freestyle? You know, do you have a preference?
No, I just want it to be something that I can connect with. It doesn't really matter if it's a dusty file on a CD, or if it's like someone sitting at an amazing grand piano. Like whatever whatever sparks some type of inspiration within me. Obviously, it's also extra special if you're sitting there with a live instrument as well. It's a different type of feeling, you know. Same reason why I really love playing live with my band, but then I don't really do like a lot of shows with a DJ anymore, but I used to do that for years. And I mean, the thing I do like about that is that excuse me, the beats, you can hear them as they were originally intended, and like they may have been produced a certain way, and you can really hear, like, I don't know whether it's the bass or like certain type of sounds that we're not able to recreate, because we could actually play on a pad or some shit like that, but the setup that I got in my band right now, we don't use that really at the moment. So the thing that's good about playing the tunes with just like a backing track or like just a beat, original beat, that's the reason why I like that, because you got all of those layers that, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I miss those layers and those textures, but at the same time, I also love when music is being created live. It's a different type of thing. So, and then all the players bring in their own. They kind of sprinkle their own magic to it as well, and their influences and stuff. So yeah.
So at this stage, which we're talking like kind of, you know, 2011, 2012, you know, looking back, how do you feel your, not status, but how do you feel your career was progressing at that stage? You know, you've had a couple of EPs out. You know, there's a little bit of heat about what you're doing. People are talking about what you're doing. How did it feel back then? Did you feel you were progressing? Do you feel that? What do you think?
I don't know. I just kept it going. Like, I mean, the more you do something and the more involved, as the label started, Eglo Records, I started getting more involved in like the Eglo Records, like the Eglo nights, where there used to be like a bunch of DJs playing, like Sam Floating Points used to play, Alexander Nutt used to play, Funkin' Even, used to invite people, like sometimes friends, sometimes people from out of town, like that Alex was feeling or Sam was feeling. And doing all those nights, like it taught me a lot, and it kind of like, it started and it was centered around London, but then we went to loads of other cities around UK. UK has always been the main spot, you know what I'm saying, where our shit has been the most, I don't know, what can I say, that where we've been booked the most, where we've been active the most. But then as time went by and things started growing and more records were being pressed and sold, and we was able to actually go abroad and do shows like that, I feel like I learned a lot through all of those experiences as a performer. So I did the progress. I did progress around that time. We all progress, I hope. I mean, we all grow every day. It's like something new. So.
And do you feel that one of those records particularly resonated with people more than others? You know, looking back.
Yeah, some reason a lot of people like mine, but I think it's because they like the beat. Like it's kind of like you want to bop your head to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that shout out to Floating Points. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's definitely because Floating Points, he's got a lot of crazy fans out there. It's all about Sam, really.
Right. Yeah. So
no, but crazy fans. But these people appreciate his music, to be honest. Like, And he's got that, like, it's a certain type of bop, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, of course.
So, yeah, I guess it's the bop.
And then all this kind of precursored your, debut album. So from EPs to actually putting a record together, like a full long player, and how was that journey for you in terms of, okay, was it like, I've done some EPs now it's time to sit and make a record, as in, make an album? Or was it a case of just having a bunch of recordings and going, this is an album? What was that process?
No, but there was definitely had to make an album, you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause, and that's also something that I was discussing with Alex at the time, because he's been from the beginning, he wasn't officially my manager. He was just kind of like, manager title or not, but he was, I guess I'm mentioning this because we was always talking about so many things and how we can do stuff, and you know what I'm saying? He didn't just like say, do you want to put out your EP on our label, and took the tunes and then put it out and bye-bye, that's that. We always, and on top of that, we were friends. So we always had communicating about a lot of stuff. But when it comes to the album thing, yeah, we had a mutual, kind of like, made a mutual decision that I was going to create this new body of work. And then there were certain bits that I didn't really just, like you said, like collect loads of already existing tunes like that. It was just something that had to develop over time. And it took quite a while actually to make. Yeah, I made it over a course of like 3 years. So I didn't make music actively constantly around that time. It's kind of like a living life. It's like make a tune and maybe like 2 months later, like make a tune maybe. I don't know, things just happen. Just like wherever they happen. We didn't really like book in loads of sessions. Like, okay, we gotta do this now. But I did definitely think like, okay, I gotta create something and be proactive towards like in trying to link up with people, like make new music so it can end up on this album whenever it comes out. I mean, I did miss a lot of deadlines. It is what it is.
Of course it is what it is.
Don't put shit out just for the sake of it. Because at the end of the day, that's the hard thing though, because if you're the person that invests in somebody, and you have everything planned, like it takes this long to, you may or may not like press a record, but especially if you're putting stuff out on vinyl, it just takes time, and then you may press it, and then test press come back. Maybe it's not the one, and you got to do it again. It's like a long process. Digital definitely like shortens down that whole thing. But like, yeah, either way, you put down a lot of time and effort into stuff. So I think as an artist, it's always hard to say, this is it, you know what I'm saying, and leave it. Because you can always do something more. You can always perfect things. Especially when you're like, if you're like a perfectionist and stuff like that. But, what was the question? Shit.
You've answered it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. How did the Flacco relationship come about, and how did you get to work together?
Again, Alex, he was like, yeah, this guy, Flacco, was like, and then we linked up, because he used to live here at the time. And then we also kind of like had like a really good chemistry when it comes to creating together, like just on the spot, like, and he's super fast when he makes music. He's just like, wait a second. And then he's just like pick up a guitar, like, and then he'll be like, wait a second. And then he just take some little percussion. You know, he's super like, I don't know, he's just fast like that. Like, and then, yeah, just throw something together, cook it up, give me the soup, give me the sauce, put a little bit of spices.
And have a cup of tea as well. So a little bit.
Actually, we used to drink a very special tea, a lemon tea from a special bush from his grandma in Chile. It's true. See?
There you go. There you go.
Verbena.
And he shared it with you,
I can
right?
recommend it.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
Cool. This is La Netta.
Standing on the edge of something oh so very beautiful. you're worth way more than they all say. So can I live? 'Cause I got life. Wanna build my own future. Let me live. I'm on fire. Love is real. And I can do whatever I want to. I'll take the purple, make it blue, make you believe things that's not true. That's what I do. I am the truth. I can do whatever I want to. I'll take the purple, make it blue, make you believe things that's not true. That's what I do. I am the truth. I can do whatever I want to. I'll take the purple, make it blue, make you believe things that's not true. That's what I do. I am the truth. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm the truth. Truth. I know what I want, and my mind is strong. You can do what you wanna do too, so sing along. I know what I want, and my mind is strong. You can do what you wanna do too, so sing along. I know what I want, and my mind is strong. You can do what you wanna do too, so sing along. I know what I want, and my mind is strong. You can do what you wanna do too, so sing along.
I can do what I want. You can too. Everybody, let's be ourselves.
So that track's amazing. It's
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
Super, super, super interesting.
Flacco went crazy on that beat.
Yes.
He always makes beats that's really fun to write to because he's got so much. So like he's really got the rhythm, you know, a feel for different rhythms and stuff. So it's like he, you know, made a beat first like doot 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 doot, and I was like, huh? And then it's just like, I guess I'll just jump on this. Like I can't do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like his beats are very inviting. You know, I feel it's fun.
So I really get the sense you don't really care about genre per se. I mean, as long as you have a connection to something, you just, you're happy with writing over it, right?
I mean, I think the only thing people that really care about it is record shops, so they know where to put something and to make it easy to find it, I guess. Because of course, there's pride in saying that. Let's say you are a rapper, you're proud to be involved and represent hip hop culture. So like, you would be, yeah. So yeah, it's not that I don't care about genres because I am what they represent, but sometimes, but to say, oh, this is it, like, or feeling the pressure, because it's more about media trying to, they have a need of like being able to describe something. Do you know what I'm saying? To be able to put it in black and white, or just like talking about it, trying to describe the sound. It's just, I don't know. I just think that if I have to say, I just say soul music because it's soulful, something that's genuine, something from the heart, like M plus, like, you know. I definitely come from hip hop and because I'm like a rap fanatic, and it's like rap, R&B, soul. That's like my thing, that kind of like my main influences. But I heard so many other genres like jazz and like all kinds of music from around the world that I love. You know what I'm saying? So. It's for people that's listening to, I think, to say what they think it may be, if that's even important.
So with a track like this, I mean, in terms of how you build your ideas together and, get this mix between a song and backing vocals and little vocal hooks and stuff, when do you know it's done? When do you say, you know what, all my ideas are in that track? Or are you still kind of listening? Oh, I could have had this. I could have.
When Alex points a gun at me, it's now or never. Suge Knight, baby. He dangled me outside the window. I think that's the reason why I had to leave Eglo Records. No, but like, I guess you just have to come to, if it's with, I don't know, it's just something like, sometimes you just feel like, well, this is it now. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's like, the type of person I am, I can be, not to say that I am the type of person to have loads of versions. Like, but I can be so long with finishing things sometimes. Maybe because I'm such a scatterbrain, and I'm like, oh, start a little bit there, start a little bit there, like, and then it's like, gotta finish something sometime. Like, that's why it's good sometimes to have someone that in your corner that can be like, come on now, you know, help you out a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't have that focus and yourself, I feel like I'm focused. It goes up and down, you know what I'm saying? So, but in terms of deciding how to finish a tune, sometimes you just feel it instantly. And sometimes maybe it's for someone else to say, but it don't matter really what anyone says because I just need to feel it in myself. You know, I don't like to throw something together for the sake of it. But, and sometimes, okay, well, it took half a year to finish the shit, but at least when it came out the way that we like it, and that's the most important thing. Because then once it's out, it's going to live there forever. But you also just have to not be, I guess, too precious, because there's people spend years just hoarding music on their hard drives, and I'm not sure if anyone here is like that, but, well, guys, I'm going to say this. You know, just, you got to you don't have to do anything. You have to do what makes you happy. You don't have to do anything. Exactly. So but do whatever makes you happy, and if what you want actually is to put out music, but let's say you're being too like, oh no, let's do the 150th mix. It's like, well, maybe talk to some people that you respect that can listen to this shit, and maybe you'd be like, okay, after that conversation, you might be like, you're right, you know what, let me just do this. But also just be a bit fearless and not too precious, I guess. But that's always something I go work on myself. So,
and obviously, Alex
get it off your hard drives, guys.
you need to find an Alexander Nutt, don't you? He's been invaluable, obviously. In terms
definitely,
of,
but and now we don't really work together like that anymore. But like, because earlier this year we kind of parted ways. Like, I mean, we're cool. It's not like that, but it's not like 50 Cent and Ja Rule, like beef. It's like he's over up there, I'm down there, and how can you be like, this guy, he does duets? Like, no, you know what? It's more like we're cool, but we just had like, you know, we've worked together for 10 years. That's a long time, actually. But then also, he's doing so much. Being a manager, it's a lot. Like, it's almost like being someone's psychologist as well.
Well, you know, particularly in this day and age.
All that.
Yeah, well, you know, particularly in the days of you know, independent records, you have to be the master, you know, jack of all trades. You have to do everything yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know?
But I mean, I just want to add, like, literally, that was the reason. If anyone's wondering, like, because we did work together. If you saw him, you will see me. Like, we've done so much together over all these years, and like, so it's all love. Like, and I wouldn't trade this our history for the world, but. Definitely when we stopped working together for those reasons that like certain things we didn't agree on creatively, but that wasn't really the main thing. I think it's just like being a manager, being a record label, because now he's running Eglo by himself, so, and he has been for many years, so it's kind of like doing all that, being also a full-time DJ, doing a radio show, being involved in other things such like A&R and little other shit that he's doing on the side. He's always been a guy that's doing a lot, like you said, jack of all trades. And I think all of that accumulates, and now he's like other things that he want to do in life. And I mean, it's just like a organic progression, really. And I don't think you should, it was good. Yeah, so it's a change for me. So yeah, and not having him there, definitely I can feel like, oh shit, like it's very valuable having someone in your corner that you respect. That can help you as well.
But also you've grown as an artist and also as an entrepreneur in your own right as well, you know. So
he taught me a lot.
Yeah, of course.
I'm in my head. I'm thinking like, what would Alex do?
He
taught me a lot.
And he's a phone call or a message away, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but he hates being on the phone.
Cool.
I know where he lives. It's cool.
Oh, there you go.
Help me!
Yeah. Let's see if these guys have got a question. Anyone guys have got a question you'd like to ask or a response to what you've heard? Okay. Yeah. Right. So I think let's try and do the long mic thing.
Long mic. Ah. I didn't hear no one said yes.
Yeah, but I was just saying, what's your kind of next step? What's the future for you? If this is the past, what's the future?
Good question.
Thanks.
I wish I knew. I'm trying to figure it out myself. Right now, I'm in just a phase where I feel definitely like it was the end of like era, if you may. I mean, it's not totally stopped. I mean, I put out my last album a year ago now, so we're still kind of promoting it, doing shows with the band and stuff. But it's never been like a massive machine behind us anyway. So I guess things is kind of like, what am I doing? I've just been promoting, doing new music. That's how I feel right now. I just want to. I've been singing like the same songs for ages. Like it took me ages to make the first album. Then it took me ages to make the second album. And also around the time and the stuff I write about a lot is like this horrible relationship that I was in. And it's like, sing about all these songs forever. Imagine being like Whitney Houston, rest in peace, like singing certain songs for her whole, but that's how it goes when you're an artist. And then people might ask like, Nas, like, can you rap these songs that you made when he was like 19? Man is like 50 now.
Yeah, but that's
Erykah Badu.
That's,
Apple tree.
hey,
She's
on
like,
and on, on and on,
apples.
on and on, for on and on and on, of course. But it's as you know, there's a personal connection that you have with your art and the music that you make, but then your audience have also got their own connection with it.
It's true. It's true.
And their memories and.
And I want to hear all the old shit too from some artists.
Exactly.
But I think it's kind of like a mix. And sometimes I feel like, and sometimes I feel like a broken record. And I just rather do something that represents me in this time and how I feel right now. Because I have grown as a woman. I've grown a lot over these past few years, and I feel like I want my music to also represent that. But I definitely wouldn't trade my history or musical history for anything in the world, because I've learned so much and met so many amazing music, like the few tunes you played here, like all of those people in their own right, there's amazing musicians and producers. So I thought, I feel lucky and really thankful for all of that. But I just want to be able to create something that represents me in this time right now, because like I'm into so many different styles as well. And it's not like I put out loads of music. Like I guess if I was a bit faster in my music making and shit, and not so indecisive, which is my biggest problem in life, I would have put out way more music. And also if I would have finished those tunes that's hidden on my hard drive, then I would have just, it's not about its quantity, but I'm just saying like, but that's what I want to am right now. I just want to make more music. I think that's what I really want to do. I want to live in the studio and just never leave. But like,
there you go. But hey,
just
bills
sit
need
there,
to be
eat
paid and
cookies
all that
all
kind of
day.
stuff. Cool.
Eating
Question, yep.
cookies.
So we'll probably. It's not the longest lead, so we'll probably, if you're at the back.
Nice for Fatima. It was really wicked to hear chat
Thanks for
about music,
coming.
mate. I've got a question about like finishing songs off and like being ready with the done thing.
Yeah.
And like I find it really hard to go for like I've got a lot of like 75%, 80% done tunes, and then get into the 100% done thing where it's like, right, this is ready, you can go to mastering, it's finished, everybody's happy with it.
Yeah.
How do you like what's the process? How do you get to that stage with you and like the producers you work with?
Basically how you mean how to decide that it's done?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, what's your experience of that like?
but like I said, it's hard when you are the type of person that you're indecisive and you're going back and forth between things and you are only living in your own head, especially if you've been locked up in your house, not seen daylight. Go out, take some fresh air, drink some water. But no, like maybe go to someone and speak to someone and see if you can like bounce ideas, and whatever they say, you may not want to do exactly what they say, but maybe they say something, some type of feedback that make you think, okay, let me go back to this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes, man, a lot of times, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's Alex with a gun at the head saying the album's out next week.
What do you say?
It's Alex with a gun at the head saying the album's out next
Exactly.
week. And then
We
it's
need more
100%
weapons.
tune.
No, joking. No, don't quote me. I hate weapons. Water gun. Water. Anyway, listen. So I'm just saying, like, I guess if you get stuck in your own head, that's what I battle with every day almost. Get too stuck in my head about all kinds of stuff. So I think it's really important to talk to people, really. And I think that's what it's good to be here right now and or in general, just like, just communicating with people. Maybe like get inspired by how someone else Like now you're asking me, and I'm like, well, ask someone else. No, joking. No, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I do all the time. I sit up late at night watching loads of interviews. So now I find it funny that I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need more water. But communicating and getting out of your head, maybe. What do you think?
That makes sense to me, yeah.
It's hard, though.
Yeah, it
It's
makes
really
sense to
hard.
me.
It's hard.
Collaborators for the final stage.
Huh?
Collaborators for the final stage.
Yeah, I
Some
mean, when
second
you're in it with
opinion.
someone else, you just got, okay, we gonna do this now, and you make a little pact, and you do it, make it happen. Mm.
Cheers.
Oh, thank you. Hey.
Don't worry, I'm part of CDR, so it's okay. Basically, it sounds like you've taken a lot of chances. At what point do you decide for yourself, this is a chance I should take and this is a chance I shouldn't take? Because to move to a different country, like interact with people you've never met before,
Yes.
completely different environment, what do you kind of have as your filter to say, this is a chance I should take to work with Alex or Sam, and Tom and Dick and Harry, no?
Yeah, I think that's like a reoccurring thing in my life. Like, you gotta take risks. You gotta take risks in life. Some of the most important shit in history of humanity happens when people dare to do something. I'm sure someone called someone, not to say that I'm making it so groundbreaking, but I'm just saying, like, what, because, you know, there's so many people before me that just made it made it possible for me to do what I do and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, you just gotta try and be true to yourself. That's a reoccurring theme in my music and my tunes and stuff, like, because you gotta have this thing where you gotta be persistent and just like dare to take risks and be uncomfortable, because if you're always comfortable, well, then you're never gonna leave your house then. And then if you don't dare to taste tofu, then, well, you're missing out. No, but I'm just saying, like, if you don't dare to step out of your comfort zone, then you can miss out. And it's better to try something and fail. I mean, people say, but it's true. It's better to try and fail than to not do anything and just be stagnant and just in one place, stuck. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it is to get out of it. The more you try different things, and like, oh, I would like to hit up, I don't know, this producer, this, like, I've hit up loads of people about collaborating. Maybe they don't hit me back. They don't write back. But you can't let that get you down. But sometimes they do. And then you meet up and then something magical happens. So I just think you gotta try and just be out there and just do things, because otherwise there's such a big world. And outside of music, that's just apply that to anything in life, really. But yeah.
So I guess that's where you're at now in terms of your next record, right? In terms of hitting up collaborators, producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's cool. I mean, I'm just kind of like in beginning stages. I've been making some music over the year and stuff, like, not loads, but like I've been in the studio with some people, and I've got a little list of people I'd like to work with. But yeah, beginning stages. But I think I'm excited about it. I just wanna. I'm just gonna try and not let it take another like 3 years. I just wanna be able to like be proactive. And not so, what's the word? I forgot about it. I forgot the word.
So do you think?
When you put everything on the shelf and you say
of
next
course,
day, next day.
Yeah, I know it's still early days, but are you thinking, a body of work, or are you going to just do the EP? Just come like, single, drop single, drop single. Have you thought
Whatever
about
makes sense, to be honest. But I'd like to put together another album. That would be dope. But it takes time, so you can't really stress. Can't really stress it too much. You can, but I'm not really about that though. I'm more about like doing something that's genuine and true to you. Yeah, because like I said, it's gonna be here forever once you put it out, and then it lives its own life. You want to make something that's timeless, but then again, don't think too much like that, because then you put too much pressure on yourself, and but I want something that feels like even if in the moment it's about me singing about like some stupid shit, like super ignorant, whatever it may be. Well, I had fun and if that felt true to me at that time, cool, then put that shit out. Like if it's timeless, who knows? But just always just do something that's true to yourself, because then you can never regret it. Really, you can do stuff and someone says, "You should do this." And you're like, "Oh, I'm not sure," and then you just feel that in your belly, like, "Oh, why did I do that?" Like, I don't know. It's just I hate when that happens. I'd rather do a mistake by myself in that case. Then I got myself to blame.
You've got lots of time to do that now, eh?
Oh, hopefully not.
No, that can be a positive thing. So, you got something for us to hear, right?
Hey, it was more like he was asking if maybe I could sing a song. I guess I will. If you guys are willing to hear me sing a song. So, thanks for love. I think I will play this tune called Dang because I'm not sure if I'm ready to do all the other shit. Let's start with Dang anyway, and we can see.
Okay.
This one is produced by Mind Design, who's an amazing producer out in LA. If you don't know about him, go check him out. Maybe when you go back home. And he's like plays keys. He sings a bit. He's a really sick producer, you know. Yeah, and we also. The first person that told me about him was actually Thundercat. That was long time ago out there in LA, and I also found out about his stuff, and then we linked up. I hit him up when I was going out to LA. Yeah.
Let's do it.
That's it. Guess I gotta stand up.
Hey.
Can't be sitting down. Do this shit.
Gotta do more things to make shit right. Say I'm gone all the time when I'm working out of time. You need to understand one thing about life. It is precious and dreams of you and I. So decide, think it through before words hit the screen. Don't decide, a world based on burning paper planes. We got to, be evaluate everything. Love was meant for it to fly. So what's happening? We gotta get some form of distraction. We too busy trying to keep it going for real. We're so stupid, Drake's tripping on Cupid. What we made of, so much sense of getting away now. The things you do for love when lightning strikes. Not again, we go over the same shit every night. So do you understand my way of life? I'm not trying to close down your world, I'm giving you life. So decide, think it through before words hit the screen. Don't decide, a world based on burning paper planes. We got to, reevaluate everything. So love was meant for it to fly, So what's happening? We gotta get some form of distraction, We're too busy trying to keep it going for really. We're so stupid, trading since we're tripping on Cupid. What we made of, so much sense in getting away now, hey. Oh, hey. Like, hey, hey. Da, 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 da. Like, da, 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 da. La, da, 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 oh, okay.
Thanks, guys. Much love. Thank you. Appreciate.
The inner B girl, man. The inner B girl.
Big girl. Oh my God. I used to try and be a breaker, but hey, I never had enough. Oh my God. I thought it was so boring practicing power moves. I'm so lazy. I never work out. So I was stuck with the top rocks.
Cool. Questions, guys? Thoughts? Questions? Mesmerized?
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
If you wanted
that's
to
good.
throw some, it's
Mesmerised
cool.
is good. Mesmerized is good. All right. Okay.
It's hard to think of questions when you're in the audience as well. That always happens to me. I was thinking, what can I think of? And I never think of anything. Oh shit, that is hard.
What are your favorite records? Well, name a couple.
Oh my God. For some reason, Quasimodo, or the Quasimodo albums just popped up. For some reason, just popped up in my head. Some reason I just saw like Madlib. Madlib is really, I am really inspired by Madlib. I love him. I don't know. Shit, this is hard.
Well, that's
This
two.
is very
Madlib.
hard. Oh my God.
So which Madlib
I
record?
gotta think of someone else. Well, I said like D'Angelo, like Missy. Oh, you said record. Which exact record? Oh Lord, this is very hard. Today, what was I? No, I was I was rehearsing all day. I didn't really get a lot of time. No, maybe I listened to Comedazine. He's this crazy rapper. Yeah. Bad answer.
right.
I'm trying to think. What was my favorite record?
That's enough. We've got
Shit.
a good idea of what you're into, which is important.
I like a song
Yeah.
called "The Mystery of Man" by Sarah Vaughan.
Know that record. Great record.
I love that song.
Yeah.
For some reason, that popped up in my head.
Cool. Well, there you go. That's two, right?
Give me your email. I'll send you a list later.
So you got this show on Sunday. You got a few more shows lined up, right?
Actually, I got a show now on Friday in Stockholm. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And then that's with the band. Then we got actually a show in Mumbai. I've never been to Mumbai, so that should be an adventure. And then I actually don't have any more show. I might got one more show with Larry Hurd because this summer I've been playing. He invited me to like sing with him like some club gigs and stuff. Him and a guy called Paul Cut from out in France, and so I've been doing that. So we got one last. I think it's in Manchester later on this year, and then we got those three things. And I don't really have a lot, but I'm actually going to New York pretty soon, like next week, to try and create some new music. So that's really what I'm trying to do now. Hopefully I'll get some more gigs this year, though. That'll be good.
So I guess it's going to be
Money.
about. So it's almost like you're crossing two worlds, right? You've got the world. Let's just call it the previous world, which is older material, live band. But obviously it's good for earning a living. But then you've got this new world coming.
Yeah.
Which is a new record, a new phase of your career. Do you know what I mean? So, do you feel like you're in the middle, or does it feel like a transition? How's it feel?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the middle. I feel like anxious. Not anxious, but I feel like, I just wanna have all this new material that I can play right now. But like, I know that's not how it goes, unless someone want to give me those sick tunes and I can just sing them. But so it's just. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I can speed up the process. So that's what I've been planning lately.
Do you want some help with that? We can give you deadlines. We can say
Shit.
like.
No,
we can
man,
say-
come on, give me something else. Give me donuts. I don't want deadlines. I want donuts.
Food again. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, man. I got in a way a deadline in my head, but I don't like. You know when people say, "When is the thing?" You know, like I remember like Talib Kweli, like, and on Reflection Eternal, like, he was like, there's like a skit where he says, when's the album out? He says, when it's finished. But that's how I feel in my head, like, when is it out? Yeah, when it feels right. But hopefully within a year, I'm going to try my best. Oh, my God.
Well, when
Pray
you've
for
got-
me.
When you've got a few tracks together, you know where to bring the works in progress, don't you?
Man,
Cool.
I'm spam everybody. You're going to hate me in the end.
Fatima, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Man,
Cool. Amazing.
Oh, sorry. I want to thank everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. I didn't know what to expect, but it's so nice. It's a bit, I never sit up here like talking like this. But like I said, I really am a massive fan of interviews and stuff, just finding out about people's careers and shit. Like, I love it. Just people's life stories, not just music. So I think I don't know, it's hard though when you sit up here, it gets nervous. Especially when you're wearing all these layers. Okay, I'm done.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you once again. Cool. Okay, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, for the next hour or so, tracks that were submitted online, and tonight, the next DJ set is going to be Open CDR. Please stick around. You're going to be around for a little bit as well. Yeah,
chilling.
cool.
I'm in the car.
All right, enjoy
with
the
a
rest.
glove that fits.
Hey! Hey! That was a great segue. That was great. Do that again. That was quite nice.